Hi everybody, I'm Dan York along with Doc Dougherty, the city manager for the city of Garden City, as we continue to look at ballot proposals that will appear on the November 5th Garden City ballot. And the one today, Mr. Dougherty, is for a charter amendment, a proposed charter change, correct, regarding the city clerk versus the treasurer's department.
Yes, currently we're going to change it from one position to two separate different departments.
Okay, I'm going to read exactly the language that will appear on the ballot and then we'll explain it. It reads, and it is a proposed charter amendment, currently Article 4 Administrative Departments and Appointments of the Charter of the City of Garden City provides for a Department of City Clerk/Treasurer headed by a City Clerk/Treasurer. It is proposed that this combined department headed by a City Clerk/Treasurer be replaced by a Department of City Clerk headed by a City Clerk with stated responsibilities, and a Department of City Treasurer headed by a City Treasurer with stated responsibilities by amending Section 4.01, deleting Section 4.05, and adding Sections 4.051 and 4.052. Shall this amendment as proposed be adopted, yes or no? So, quite simply, we're taking one department and trying to break it into two departments, correct?
Yes, correct. This was one of those unique things that I found when I came to Garden City was by charter. Now the charter is the governing rules for our city. In our charter it does state that there is a position of City Clerk Treasurer. That is unique to anything I've seen anywhere in the country where I've worked, and even talking to our financial consultants and some other groups have said cities have changed away from this years ago, but because it's in our charter, we haven't made that change. Where this really became prominent was this past year, our long-term clerk treasurer had retired, and it gave us a chance now to hire somebody new. Looking at the definitions and what we're looking for in a position, it's nearly impossible to find someone who's a clerk and a treasurer together. They usually have a specialty, one or the other.
They're two totally unique
job
descriptions normally.
Yeah, the clerk is much more into record keeping, minutes, FOIA, Public Information Act, as well as elections, heavily in the elections. The treasurer is more into the finance, the budget side, the taxes, the water billing. They're very unique jobs. And as we looked for one position, one person this past year, you just can't find a city clerk treasurer anywhere. So they're going to have a specialty. As a side note to this, actually this position oversees the building department, but we don't have anything listed in the charter as far as the building department goes. So it gave us the opportunity to say, okay, what are we looking for in a clerk treasurer? Or should we really split these departments and say, okay, we're looking for a clerk and we're looking for a treasurer? So what happened this past year is we actually hired someone who was more clerk focused and actually has a background as a zoning administrator. Brought that person in from Wayne after 18 years, fantastic employee. But we also hired a treasurer at this point who his background is full finance as well as was a city administrator in the past. So we have two outstanding individuals in those positions currently, but the way the charter reads and the way our hierarchy is structured is one is currently under the other. One of the other big issues that we have, not only in trying to find a specific person that has those special duties, is also the conflict of interest potentially. In the past, not that there was any incidents, but the city clerk works with the council and has their own responsibilities, would also be the one that would go and be able to cut checks. Well, clearly there should be some checks and balances between all departments. And this is a split that we're looking at to not only give us the ability to hire people in those specialty positions, but also get away from any area where there might be some concern of a conflict of interest of a clerk treasurer also in charge of the finances. This splits that responsibility and gives us a more efficient department structure in the future.
And currently we have a deputy treasurer, which is the new person that was hired.
Yes.
And we've in the past always had a deputy treasurer.
Yes, correct.
That was primarily only responsible for finance anyways.
Yes. So this is not really adding a position at all. It's just splitting the duties of what we currently have is a city clerk treasurer and we have a deputy treasurer. What we're looking at doing is that city clerk treasurer becomes a city clerk, and the deputy treasurer just steps up and becomes the treasurer for the city. So this is not a ballot referendum that we're asking to add positions. It's just the structure itself of changing the charter that was put together many decades ago.
Right, that was put together in the 70s, and this will now bring us, should it pass, would bring us more into what current expectations are and what current standards are.
Correct, yes.
All right, very good. Well, it's just that simple. You can find out more about everything that is on the November 5th ballot by going to gardencitymi.org/vote. That's gardencitymi.org/vote. But most importantly, make sure that you do vote on November 5th. Thank you very much.